Line. And welcome to Jerusalem Dateline. I'm Chris Mitchell. Israel's President Isaac Herzog made an historic visit to Bahrain recently, the first in modern times by an official Israeli head of state. He received a warm welcome by Bahrain's king. Herzog gave the leader a mezuzah, which is a parchment inscribed with text from the Torah to be put on the doorpost of one's home.
Your Majesty, this is a great moment, and I'm extremely honored to be here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. You're at the forefront of making history in the region, where Jew and Muslim can dwell together as sons of Abraham and move forward in peace.
President Herzog's visit comes after Israel and Bahrain agreed to normalize times in 2020 as part of the Abraham Accords, which were brokered by the administration of former U.S. President Donald Trump. The Abraham Accords also enabled Israel to establish relations with the United Arab Emirates, Morocco, and Sudan. Well, the Pentagon is warning that a potential Turkish invasion of northeast Syria could hurt its efforts to eradicate ISIS in the region.
And the focus here is on preventing a destabilizing situation, which would put ISIS in an ability to reconstitute, and no one wants to go back to what we saw in 2014 with terrorist group running amok and taking large swaths of land with thousands and thousands of people killed.
Turkey says it's preparing to invade Syria to squash Kurdish militia groups that it blames for a deadly bombing in Istanbul last month. The Kurds deny any involvement in the attack. While Turkey is carrying out regular airstrikes on Kurdish targets in northeast Syria, a full-scale invasion is yet to be seen. Well, after months of deadly protests in Iran, activists are rejecting reports about possible cracks in the regime. Over the weekend, an Iranian news agency reported claims from the Attorney General that Iran's so-called morality police had been closed down. The group is responsible for enforcing the country's strict dress code, which requires women to cover their heads. The news spread quickly among Western news outlets, but protesters and state media dismissed the reports as false. Meanwhile, the protests show no sign of stopping. They began with the death of a young woman in police custody after she was arrested for allegedly violating the dress code. I spoke with Dr. Amir Hamidi from the U.S. Institute of Diplomacy and Human Rights about Iran's morality police and the latest in the protests. Amir Hamidi, thanks for joining us on Jerusalem Dateline. Tell us from your perspective, what's the latest going on inside Iran?
Mr. Mitchell, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate the time. As we all know, and we see on the coverage of the news, during the past 9 weeks, the terrorist regime Republic of Iran has been detaining, torturing, raping, and killing hundreds of innocent and Iranian men and women, even young school children, who have been peacefully demonstrating against this oppressive regime's 43 years of tyranny. And the Islamic Republic of Iran is, as we all know, it is a leading state sponsor of terrorism and is guilty of numerous crimes against humanity. Now, Iran claims it has abolished its morality police after months of protests triggered by the death of a young woman, Mahsa Amini, who was arrested by the morality police force for allegedly not being dressed appropriately. But this claim of abolishing the morality police is, according to the Iranian officials and Iranian-controlled media, but the Iranian government has not officially confirmed it yet. But the head of judiciary said where the morality police came from, they will go back. As we all clearly know, morality police is a part of NAJA, and NAJA is a part of the General Police Force, which it is under IRGC command. Basically, it is totally lie, because Islamic Republic is a master of deception and manipulation. The world has zero reason to trust Iran after decades of oppression and brutality.
What kind of response would the protesters, the Iranian people right now, they're opposing the regime. What would they like to see from the United States and the West in general?
Chris, as you know, and we hear inside the over 100 cities in Iran, the people are chanting, they're not looking for a reform. They are looking for a regime change. And by changing the uniform of the police, or they changing their formality, or because of the pressure from the United Nations human rights organizations, now they're putting Mahsa Amini's pictures all over Tehran, because the inspectors of United Nations, they might come and then inspect, or the media showing. This is totally a lie, and the world and even Iranian people, they don't trust them at all, because they lied in past 43 years. And as we know, for example, I can give you 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights and 1966 International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights, which torture is listed under that list, constitute the violation of the Geneva human rights violation. It's no war is going on, but they are using war bullets, shooting the people, innocent people, bystanders in the streets on the daylights, and they killing them, which this violates every rights in the world.
How optimistic are these people that they actually could overthrow the regime?
100% they are adamant they want to overthrow this regime. They have no hope. They have no future. The economic, almost totally bankrupt economy, and no freedom of speech, freedom to democracy, freedom of study, freedom of the rest. And that's their adamant. They want to overthrow this regime. Enough is enough, basically.
Up next, as Iranians rally around a cry for freedom, an Israeli artist turns their protest into a powerful song.
Now, for a limited time, you can get 5 of CBN's critically acclaimed documentaries. Experience the rebirth of the modern state of Israel.
The historic bonds between the Jewish people and the land of Israel cannot be broken.
Relive the battle for Jerusalem in the Six-Day War.
Jerusalem is yours, forever.
Discover how Israeli volunteers are changing the world.
When people need us, we volunteer and we come and help.
Explore the world of Israeli technological innovation.
We're people of dreams. God gives us dreams. And that's really the roots, I think, of much of our innovation.
And understand the biggest land dispute in history.
Many Palestinian Arabs claim that the Jews stole Arab land. But is that the real story?
This exclusive Israel DVD collection can be yours for a gift of $29.99 or more. Call now or go online to get your Israel DVD bundle, which includes streaming access.